You are about to be locked inside the Stingray Show, and coming up on this edition, we are going to be talking with a current senator for the state of Alabama who also coached at Miami, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Auburn, Texas Tech, and Cincinnati. His record of coaching was 159-99. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator and Coach Tommy Tuberville will join us on this edition of the Stingray Show.
Hi, this is Tim Brando with a reminder. Those of you on Tide 100.9, look out. You're about to feel the buzz of Stingray.
This is Stephen Ray, a.k.a. Stingray, coming to you live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I'm Heath Hopkins. I'm here in DeSoto County, Mississippi, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, Mark, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you feel that responsibility to pay it forward and give some kid a chance coming up in the ranks, kind of like Tony did for you?
Why do you think I'm talking to Stingray tonight?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, look, no.
Heath, Stingray, Here's the deal. When you get involved with Texas, it's like getting married to a stripper. and let me explain this. It looks good. It's kind of sexy on the surface. Yeah. But then you get the baggage, you get the drama, you get all that eventually comes with it. And that's what you get with Texas, and that's what the Big 12 learned.
And Heath, any thoughts on our show moving forward?
Hey, to everyone in Tuscaloosa listening here on Tide 100.9, with the Stingray Show, if you don't like it, you better learn to love it, because it's the best show going today, baby. Woo!
And with that, we want to welcome you inside the 500th edition of the Stingray Show right here on the radio in Tuscaloosa on Tide 100.9. And Heath, we did a little bit of talking about the 500th episode last night, but let's not keep our guests waiting. For the 500th episode, we are about to be joined by a former coach right here in the state of Alabama who is now representing our state as a senator up in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome to the Stingray Show former Auburn head coach and now current senator for the state of Alabama, Senator Tommy Tuberville. Coach and Senator, how are things with you up in Washington?
Well, that's a great introduction, but welcome to the clown show up here in Washington, D.C., because that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Every day is something different. That we might as well have jugglers and clowns running around outside, because it is a disaster on most days, but we're trying to get something done now. We got President Trump elected, and we're getting more people on the same page. It's like putting together a football team, but my God, this is a huge one with a $5 trillion budget, and we're trying to find that $5 trillion because $7 trillion goes out the door every year, and there's no accountability.
Yes.
Coach, you obviously like crazy because SEC fans are crazy, and the folks out there in Washington picketing, screaming are crazy. Who's crazier? I'm going to guess the folks in Washington.
Well, that's a close one there now. SEC fans are adamant. They're passionate. You know, I went to the game Saturday in Auburn versus Auburn in Alabama in basketball. My God, in 1999, when I came to Auburn, you could have thrown a rock and not hit anybody in the stands. And now look what the coach at Alabama's done, Bruce Pearl's done at Auburn, the entire SEC. And I'm not so sure Florida might not be the best team after you talk about those two. But here's what I saw Saturday. I saw some of the best athletes that I've ever seen on a basketball court. Most of these guys should have played football, by the way. But let me tell you something. They are athletic, fast, quick. It is amazing what SEC's done in basketball just over the last few years, and I'm looking forward to seeing who can win the national championship from the SEC.
So, Senator, I do want to piggyback off of that for a second. You talked about the athletes there at Alabama and at Auburn. what is the latest that you can talk with us about the NIL situation in college athletics?
You think government is broken in our country? Well, college sports is broken.
Yes.
I had dinner last night with a good friend of mine by the name of Nick Saban and Coach Kasevsky here in Washington, D.C., and we talked about it for a couple of hours, and it's broken. There's no way we can continue, paying this kind of money out to athletes. Now, some teams can, but when it comes to over 100 teams to make it fair, it's not going to happen. And I'm all for players making money. Don't get me wrong, but there's no system, there's no regulation, there's no rules. It's kind of wild west, and something's got to be done, or you're going to have 4, 5, 6 teams just control it every year. Now Nick did that, and I told Nick, I said, "Wait a minute, you control it for the last 15 years." He said, "Yeah, but it was really, really hard. Now you're going to have just a handful of teams that you're going to say, hey, they got a chance to win a national championship." And folks, we are all passionate about college football, especially in the South. We can't lose it, but this is the opportunity that we might be losing something that millions of people are very, very passionate about.
Yes.
Coach, we had Greg Byrne on, the athletic director for Alabama, here a couple of weeks ago. He talked about a meeting with you over the summer and talking about what you just mentioned right there. In a few short sentences, if you can, how do we fix this NIL garbage? And it is garbage. I'm proud for the players, but it's not sustainable at all.
No.
Well, if I had a magic wand, I'd tell everybody in the country, okay, all you big leaguers out there, you 4 or 5 conferences, we're fixing to all come together, and we're going to basically say we're in this together, and we're going to make rules together. We're all going to go by the same rules. The NCAA is not going to do it. But the one thing that we have to do, if you look at what's going on right now, there is all these different conferences. They all have their different TV deals, okay?
Yep.
You combine all those together, it's worth about $4 billion a year. If you brought everybody together and then you brought in ABC, CBS, and ESPN, and you sold those rights together, it'd be worth 12 to 14 billion a year. So there's where your money comes from. But
Right.
you're not going to get it done, with the SEC and the Big Ten. They obviously control a lot of the money out there. But if you want to do it right for the sport, you would bring all the Big Ten, the Big 12, the whatever the old PAC group was, ACC, SEC, all of them together, and say, listen, we're all in this together. Let's let everybody make money out of this. We'll all make more money, including Big Ten and SEC, and sell our rights, because it's the number 2 watch thing behind the NFL. Theirs is just multi-billions more.
Yes.
I tell you who else is more, but they have less viewership, is the NBA. They have a huge contract. I mean, and college football is so much more viewed than the NBA. It's just astounding. Go sell your rights and do it the right way.
Right.
Coach, if we had a commissioner for college football outside of Nick Saban, who would you mention? Who would be a great one?
Oh my God. And it would have to be just football. Football needs to be separated from the NCAA. Yes. Bless NCAA's heart. They don't make any money out of it, so they don't care. They make their money out of basketball. So, that would be a Jim Trussell maybe.
Okay.
He is now the lieutenant governor of Ohio. There is probably 5 to 10 people that you put 5 hard years into it, and you could straighten it all out. But that's what it's going to take. It's not going to be overnight. You're going to have to bring egos together. My God, we got egos out there. You're going to have to do away with commissioners, and they're going to protect their own sovereignty, I guess, and athletic directors. But you look at some of these athletic departments now. I've never seen so many people working in an athletic department. And what do you need now in an athletic department? You need a few good coaches, a few good administrators, and a lot of money to buy good players. That's how you're going to win.
Yes. Okay, Coach, I have one quick question for you back on your coaching real quick, and that is, you started out in Miami, and during that time, they won 3 national championships. And if memory serves me correctly, one Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was playing around the time that you were coaching down there. Do you have any Dwayne Johnson stories that you could share with us, please?
Well, Dwayne was unfortunate because he played behind Warren Sapp, who might have been one of the best players ever to play our sport.
Absolutely.
I mean, athletic. He was a 210-pound tight end that I talked into going to defense his freshman year. And he said, Coach, if I move to defense, can I eat all I want? Because they make me go on a diet over here on offense. I said, son, you can eat everything you can get in your stomach. He weighed 300 pounds the next year, but you talking about an athlete. So Dwayne was a good athlete. He really contributed, but he had to play behind Warren. Ray Lewis played behind him. On the other side, you had Russell Maryland. You had some Cortez Kennedy. All these guys were first picks in the draft. I'm not talking about the second or third or fourth pick. I'm talking the very first pick. And so we won at Miami back then because we had some good offensive players, receivers, but we won because we had great defensive linemen. I'm not talking about good. I'm talking about great that were years and years players in the NFL that just dominated not just college, but also the NFL.
Coach, one fun question was we walk out the door. Who do you talk football the most up there in Washington with?
Oh, my goodness. Well, it was Marco Rubio.
Okay.
And his son plays running back at Florida. And
Okay, I didn't know that.
Marco and I got to be good. We'd talk games during the week and make predictions and all that. But I've lost him. Now he's traveling the world being our Secretary of State, and he's doing a great job. But, we got several. But most of them up here are nerds. They don't know the difference between a basketball and a hockey stick. But you got a good handful. John Kennedy from Louisiana. We talk LSU and Alabama and Auburn and Ole Miss and Mississippi State football all the time. But again, it's not what you would think. You got a lot of lawyers, a lot of people that always look like they got something on their mind. Other than what I really enjoy is college sports and athletics and college football.
So, Senator, I know that you were on a time crunch. Please come back and join us because we've got plenty of questions about your coaching career. Keep up the great work up there in Washington, trying to straighten them all out, okay?
Well, thank you very much. And let's do that. I got a lot of great stories.
Okay.
And we can spend a good 30 minutes talking about 40 years that I saw in college sports and how it changed. And again, talking about how we can get back what, we're losing.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we're losing at a very quick pace.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be in touch with your staff later today, Coach. We want to get you on the books as soon as we can.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you,
sir.
All right. Well, guys, that was a awesome, quick little preview there of Senator Tuberville. And, of course, he said he would come back and join us again sometime soon to do a full interview with us. And Heath, how about that, man? Senator Tuberville on the 500th episode of the Stingray Show.
Yeah, Stephen, I heard something funny the other day. I heard a reporter mention that he liked flying on President Trump's Air Force One rather than President Biden because they served Wendy's hamburgers on Air Force One. And we all know that the president loves fast food.
Right.
I was going to ask a fun question with Senator Tuberville. Have you enjoyed a fast food meal with our president at any time in your lifetime? I got a feeling the answer is yes.
So, hey, we will do that the next time Senator joins us right here on the Stingray Show. But hey, we've got 3 more segments of this special show, I should say, and we will return on the 500th episode right after this.